Making headlines. The Maldives once again calls for an end to the inhuman attacks against the Palestinian citizens and for the immediate provision of medical assistance. The defense minister says that the Maldives is against the permanent presence of foreign military troops, despite establishing defense relations with other countries. And the foreign ministry announces that Musa Zamir is scheduled to embark on an official trip to Sri Lanka. Welcome to the English News. I'm your host Malak Ahmad Fayaz. Now for the news in detail. The Maldives once again calls for an end to the inhuman attacks against the Palestinian citizens and for the immediate provision of medical assistance. The call was made by Minister of Health Dr. Abdullah Khalil, who represented the Maldives at this year's World Health Assembly. Speaking at the Assembly, Minister Khalil said that the citizens of Palestine will always be in the hearts of the people of the Maldives. As such, he said that the Maldives has condemned the inhuman acts against its citizens. Additionally, Minister Khalil noted that many things are happening against Palestine in violation of international humanitarian law. He said health facilities are being targeted and such acts should be stopped. He also called on the World Health Organization (WHO) to increase its assistance to Palestine and work to ensure the protection of health workers and facilities. Furthermore, Minister Khalil has condemned the actions of the Israeli military. He also called on those who are willing to help Palestinians and to obey the laws and regulations. The Maldives participated in the vote to improve the health situation in Palestine at the World Health Assembly. The 77th World Health Assembly was held in Geneva, Switzerland. This year's theme of the Assembly, which was attended by health ministers from 192 countries, was All for Health, Health for All. Minister of Defense Mohammad Ghassan Maumoon says that the government of the Maldives is against the permanent presence of foreign military troops despite establishing defense relations with each other. He made the remarks while speaking at the Shangri-La Dialogue 2024 organized by the International Institute for Strategic Studies, IISS, in Singapore. Speaking at the dialogue, Minister Ghassan said the government's policies are to enhance the capacity of the country's own defense forces and ensure internationally accepted standards in the region. He also said that President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu prioritizes maintaining existing ties with countries and establishing more. Additionally, Minister Ghassan noted that President Dr. Muizzu prioritizes improving the quality of the military and enhancing its capacity to protect itself against maritime terrorism acts, abuse of legal resources, and climate change. In terms of the territory in which the Maldives is located, he said that it has international responsibilities and the responsibility of protecting individuals traveling in the Indian Ocean. Furthermore, Minister Ghassan described ensuring the security and safety of small countries as always a challenge and said that small countries like the Maldives have regarded international law as the greatest guarantee of independence. He, however, noted that some countries are abandoning these values as a challenge to the security and safety of small countries. Therefore, he said that small countries need to build strong relationships to overcome the challenges. He also said that relationships should be established between small countries and outside them. Moreover, Minister Ghassan said President Dr. Muizzu's policy is to enhance defense capabilities and to ensure the security of the maritime area around the Maldives. He also said that the government does not want foreign military troops to be stationed on Maldivian soil in any sense. The IISS Shangri-La Dialogue is Asia's premier defense summit. It is a meeting where ministers debate the region's biggest security challenges and participate in important discussions. This year's meeting takes place in Singapore from May 31st to June 2nd. Ministry of Foreign Affairs announces that Minister Musa Zamir is scheduled to embark on an official trip to Sri Lanka. This visit will mark his inaugural official visit to Sri Lanka since assuming office. A statement released by the ministry indicated that the official visit to Sri Lanka is slated to occur from June 3rd to June 6th, following an invitation extended by Sri Lanka's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ali Sabri. The ministry revealed that during the trip, Minister Zamir will engage in discussions with high-profile dignitaries of the government, in addition to the foreign minister. As such, the minister will meet the President of Sri Lanka, Ranil Wickremesinghe, and the Prime Minister of the nation, Dinesh Gunawardena. During the meeting, Minister Zamir will focus on strategies aimed at bolstering and fortifying the enduring relationship between the two nations. Additionally, the discussions will also encompass initiatives to streamline arrangements for Maldivians residing in Sri Lanka. Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works Adam Sharif Umar says that an eco-friendly system should be established to communicate with councils and ministries through technology. The Cities Ministry had announced the goals to be achieved during this term. As such, the Ministry has launched a strategic action plan to outline and formulate the work to be done to fulfill the pledges of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. Speaking at the launch of the action plan, Minister Adam Sharif said the plan should discuss establishing a system for easy communication between councils and government ministries and institutions. He said that in the past, councils have come to Male City to meet various government institutions and have spent heavily on transportation. He also said that the world is technologically advanced and councils should be able to use technology resources to meet and discuss with institutions. The government gives special priority to meeting the needs of the councils. President Dr. Muizzu visited the islands of the country and met with a total of 160 councils. Minister Sharif also visited the islands and met very closely with the councils and held seminars on decentralization in 2 islands. The ministry has also appointed individuals to monitor the affairs of each atolls in order to respond as closely as possible to the requests of the councils. As such, 2 or more individuals have been appointed to each atoll and state ministers have been appointed to take care of the affairs of the atolls. Minister of Economic Development and Trade Mohammad Saeed announces that efforts are underway to launch a national single window project in August. This initiative aims to streamline access to crucial services for importers and exporters by consolidating them onto a single platform. Collaborating with TradeNet Maldives Corporation Limited, the ministry seeks to enhance efficiency and conveniences for businesses engaging in international trade. Providing insight on the project, Minister Saeed emphasized the project's alignment with President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu's vision to bolster support and efficiency for entrepreneurs. The minister disclosed that this online platform will offer diverse services, representing a significant step towards addressing challenges encountered by businesses. He reiterated the primary objective of ensuring relevance and effectiveness, assuring that the project will be designed by incorporating feedback from economic stakeholders and local entrepreneurs. The digital project promises improved communication and collaboration with foreign counterparts, fostering transparency and efficiency. Through consultations and discussions with TradeNet, the ministry aims to tailor the platform to meet the specific needs of businesses, facilitating seamless document submission and transparent transactions. The ministry underscores the platform's potential to forge strong connections between business partners, promising enhanced business operations and collaboration. Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Saeed underscores the crucial importance of concerted endeavors to uphold a hygienic environment within mosques. The remarks were made by the minister during a meeting held with Male City Council, focused on upholding the cleanliness standards within mosque premises. Speaking at the discussions, Minister Dr. Shahim revealed his envision of maintaining the cleanliness of mosques, highlighting that Maldivians have always respected and ensured proper maintenance of the mosques in the vast history of the nation. The minister shed light on the significance of the mosque and the importance of ensuring its cleanliness from a religious perspective. He emphasized the indispensability of societal collaboration to achieve this objective. Male City Council has appointed several Maldivians to ensure the maintenance of mosques. During the meeting, the mayor of Male City Council, Adam Azim, revealed that this measure was a significant initiative of the minister, Dr. Shahim. The minister expressed gratification at witnessing Maldivians taking up the responsibility of mosque upkeep. Additionally, the mayor urged residents to join forces and fulfill their respective duties to ensure the tidiness of mosque environments. The council has announced that the 10 mosques in Hurumale, 22 mosques in Male and 2 mosques in Vilimale will entirely be maintained by Maldivian staff members. Ministry of Ministry of Social and Family Development announces the significant operational changes at the home for people with special needs HPSN in Guradu, Kafatol, stating that it is now capable of ensuring that individuals under rehabilitation return to their respective families after treatment. Speaking at a press conference held to shed light on the endeavors of the ministry within the past 6 months, Deputy Minister Aminat Ismail revealed that efforts are underway to complete the major changes brought to the centre, highlighting that a total of 221 individuals are currently undergoing treatment at the centre. The minister affirmed the collection of medical reviews of each individual. She disclosed that caseworkers were assigned to each person. Observing that there are several individuals in HPSN for prolonged periods, Deputy Minister Aminat emphasized the ongoing efforts to rehabilitate patients post-treatment, highlighting that these endeavors have facilitated the reunion of 15 individuals with their families. The minister revealed that preparations are underway to reunite an additional 24 individuals with their families as well. Additionally, she underscored the ongoing efforts to enhance the quality of services such that it meets the essential needs of individuals seeking treatment in HPSN. Providing information on the changes brought to HPSN, which was established in 1976, Deputy Minister Aminat unveiled that 2 wards specialized to accommodate men and children have been prepared for inauguration. A reintegration ward was opened on May 27th, aiming to teach people about household life before reuniting with their respective families, following the completion of their health and mental treatment and the social skill programs. Minister of Finance Dr. Mohammad Shafiq has been appointed as the Vice Chair of the 58th Annual General Meeting of the Asian Development Bank ADB. Speaking at a press conference held to provide insight on the endeavors of the Ministry of Finance during the past 6 months, Minister Dr. Shafiq revealed that the Maldives has been given the opportunity to be Vice Chair of the Annual General Meeting of ADB. The minister, alongside the Deputy Minister of Finance Ahmad Said Mustafa, will represent the Maldives at the prestigious event. The 58th Annual General Meeting of ADB is set to take place in Italy on March 7, 2025. Activities commemorating the World Oceans Day have commenced. The Ministry of Fisheries and Ocean Resources have decided to celebrate the World Oceans Day with 10 various activities. World Oceans Day is annually observed on June 8th. Speaking at a press conference, Minister of State for Fisheries and Ocean Resources Mohammad Muttalib revealed that the primary objective of ensuring the activities are conducted with as many individuals as possible. The activities which will be conducted till June 8th comprises a drawing competition, essay writing competition, a quiz competition, an informative session, a fishing race, a cleaning program, a beach program, and a diving program. Marking the completion of these activities, Minister Muttalib disclosed plans to organize an Ocean Day festival. The minister stated that the festival held in Hurumale will consist of several activities. He further stated that amongst all activities, those pertaining to increased public awareness on the oceans will be prioritized. As such, the minister revealed plans such that most activities will target school students. Furthermore, the ministry highlighted the ongoing efforts to celebrate World Oceans Day at the national level in the future. Annual inflation in the Eurozone ticks back up in May, official data showed, but the setback was seen as temporary and unlikely to deter the European Central Bank from cutting interest rates next week. The data will, however, weigh on the ECB's move in July and beyond, reinforcing expectations that the bank's decision on June 6th will not kickstart a rapid rate-cutting campaign. Consumer prices in the single currency area rose faster than expected to 2.6% in May from a year earlier, up from April's 2.4% rate. The figure is above the ECB's 2% target. ECB officials will be disappointed by the data for core inflation, which strips out volatile energy and food prices and a key indicator of the bank. That rate ticked up again to 2.9% in May, up from 2.7% in April. Analysts surveyed by FactSet and Bloomberg had forecast that consumer prices would rise to 2.5% and predicted that core inflation would be stable. The ECB aggressively hiked rates from July 2022 to tame soaring inflation but has frozen borrowing costs in the past few months amid growing pressure for a rate cut. Consumer prices have been steadily falling from a peak of 10.6% in October 2022 following Russia's all-out invasion of Ukraine and the subsequent impact on energy costs. There's wariness at the ECB about lowering rates again in July as it prepares to reduce borrowing costs before the US Federal Reserve. Bank of Finland Governor Olli Rehn, one of 25 members of the ECB's Governing Council, told AFP this month that the bank was not pre-committing to any rate path. Services recorded the biggest price rise in May at 4.1%, up from 3.7% the previous month. After declining for several months, energy prices rose again by 0.3% in May after recording a 0.6% drop in April. NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg urges members to commit to providing Ukraine at least 40 billion euros a year in military aid, seeking to ensure long-term support as war with Russia grinds on. With Russia waging a major new offensive, NATO foreign ministers met in Prague to lay the groundwork for July's summit in Washington that will both celebrate 75 years of the transatlantic alliance and seek new ways to bolster Ukraine. The United States-US has led assistance to Ukraine but is assuming aid after a months-long delay triggered by fighting in Congress, with November's presidential election throwing further doubt on future US funding. Stoltenberg told journalists after the 2 days of talks that since Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022, allies have provided approximately 40 billion euros worth of military aid to Ukraine each year. He said that they must maintain at least this level of support each year for as long as necessary. He said he wanted NATO's 32 countries to share the burden equitably and be ready to announce the plan at the Washington summit. He said one way to measure each country's commitment could be to base it on gross domestic product (GDP), but the plan was not finalized. It is the latest effort by Stoltenberg to put NATO support on firmer footing ahead of a potential return of Donald Trump, who has dismissed both the alliance itself and Ukraine aid as wasteful. Last month, Stoltenberg floated an overall target of 100 billion euros over 5 years for Ukraine support, but that fell flat among allies confused over what it would involve. Czech Foreign Minister Jan Lipavsky welcomed Stoltenberg's latest proposal and said it seemed manageable as it represented only a small fraction of defense expenditure. But he said that ensuring countries stick to their promises, even when the governments change, was the trillion-dollar question. Borussia Dortmund coach Eden believes anything is possible as his side aim to shock Real Madrid in the Champions League final at London's Wembley Stadium. The star-studded Spanish giants are heavy favourites to be crowned European champions for the 15th time and a 6th in the last 11 seasons against a Dortmund team that have beaten the odds just to make it to the English capital. Madrid have lost just twice in 54 games in all competitions this season, storming to the title in La Liga by 10 points and thrashing Barcelona 4-1 to lift the Spanish Super Cup along the way. However, they have had to once again dig deep to reach what coach Carlo Ancelotti described as the biggest game of any season in the Champions League. Ancelotti's men withstood a barrage from defending champions Manchester City to win their quarter-final tie on penalties before another legendary late fight back at the Santiago Bernabeu to beat Bayern Munich in the last 4. The career path of Jude Bellingham exemplifies the scale of the task facing Dortmund. Plucked from English Championship side Birmingham as a teenager, he was moulded and developed by the German giants before being picked off by Madrid for a transfer fee in excess of 100 million euros 12 months ago. Without him, Dortmund struggled domestically this season, finishing 5th in the Bundesliga, 27 points adrift of Bayer Leverkusen. Yet Eden's men have saved their best for the Champions League stage to reach the final for the 3rd time in the club's history and first since they lost at Wembley to Bayern Munich 11 years ago. Dortmund topped the group of death featuring Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, AC Milan and Newcastle. PSV Eindhoven and Atletico Madrid were then seen off before heroic defensive display kept out PSG over 2 legs in the semi-finals. South Korea aims to make a Mars landing by 2045, President Yoon Suk-yeol said, outlining plans to spend about $70 billion over the coming decades on space exploration. The newly created Korea Aerospace Administration, KASA, will lead the drive to make the land of K-pop a new space powerhouse, following the United States, US, Russia, and China. Yoon Suk-yeol said that he has always believed that there's an infinite dream and future in outer space. He said that KASA will strive to land a homegrown probe on the moon by 2032 and plant the South Korean flag on Mars by 2045. South Korea sent up its first lunar orbiter, the Nuri, in 2022 on a SpaceX Falcon rocket. It also successfully launched its homegrown Nuri rocket and placed working satellites into orbit last year after 2 failed attempts. Seoul is now gearing up for its 4th launch of the Nuri rocket in the second half of 2025. Modeled after United States, NASA, KASA says it will act as an aerospace control tower, overseeing aerospace policy, satellite development, and space missions, including moon exploration. Key projects will include expanding South Korea's participation in Artemis 3, an American-led mission which aims to put astronauts back on the moon by 2026. The research and development program at the agency will be led by John Lee, who spent 30 years with NASA and was last a senior advisor at the Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland. Yoon vowed to expand the space development budget by 1.5 trillion won by 2027, which would be double the current space budget. KASA is planning a moon landing in 2032, which is a project with Hanwha Aerospace, South Korea's largest defense and aerospace company. One of the initial projects will involve collaborating with Perigi Aerospace, a South Korean space startup, to test a space launch vehicle from Jeju Island as early as next month. That's all the news we have for today. Thank you all for watching.